So the big launches for 2023, who's created the biggest hype out there in that driver category? For me, it's probably going to have to be Callaway with their Paradym lineup. But one of their family of the Paradym, for me, just sits under that radar a little bit, doesn't get as much hype there, but created a little bit of a better looking golf club, better performing golf club than the previous model. We're going to take a look at that in this particular video. So the clubs that I'm referring to in that Paradym family are the hybrids. So we've got Paradym and Paradym X. Now, these are fantastic looking golf clubs. These are so much better than what we saw in last year's model in terms of the Rogue ST. The shape of the head, as soon as I picked it up, I thought, do you know what? That for me is the biggest change out of the whole Paradym lineup that looks so much better. And I've hit it since and it performs extremely well. So we saw Rogue ST, the Max, and we saw a Max OS, and basically we saw like a bit of a weird sort of shape. And Callaway have done this in a few models now, where it sort of like goes like shallow in the heel up into this really sort of high toe section. Looks to be a bit bulbous in that sort of area of the golf club. Sitting it down, we see a little bit of a closed face, so just a bit of a, for me, a non-pleasing look. But then we pop these new Paradyms in it, and it's now back into more of a hybrid look. It's edging a little bit into a fairway sort of look. It doesn't look close. It's not that big bulbous high toe section in either of these. Now bearing in mind we've got a Paradym which would replace obviously the Max in the Rogue ST, and then we've got the X which would have replaced the Max OS. And even when we're going into that X there, we don't see any weird bulky sort of shape in the actual head themselves. Both of these in 18 degrees of loft, the standard Paradym and the X. Let's see how they perform. This for me just sits really square. Beautiful look behind the ball, that stunning sort of navy, dark navy, glossy finish. Oh, that's a great shot to kick things off with there. Great sound to that. And this is where I sort of keep picking this up, I keep hitting it, and I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. Because I'm not really a hybrid player. Because of that reason I don't like it sort of going left, but this seems to be quite neutral on its ball fight. And the thing I always like with a hybrid is as soon as I put it down, it sits what looks to be very square, nice shaping. I'm sort of going to give it a chance. Looks are really important to me in a hybrid. So as always with Callaway, we've seen with the drivers, ball speed's a big talking point. So higher ball speeds is what they're saying. So this new speed cartridge, which you can see this golden sort of weight that is positioned in the sole, which is low and obviously forward in the head. So moving that CG down and forward helps to increase ball speed and lower spin for obviously added distance. So then we've got the famous jailbreak technology that Callaway have introduced a number of years ago now, but have redefined this over the years, and this is now a batwing technology is what they call it in terms of that jailbreak. So the connection from that crown to the sole now is done more through the toe and the heel area, as opposed to it being right behind the actual club face itself. Strike. It's incredible sound to it, very good solid connection with that. Not tinny, not loud, not brash, very solid feel to that. And look at those two shots there, sat right side by side. Decent length on that, carrying at 233, running out up to maybe that 250 mark. That's good. I'd say these are 18 degrees. We've got adjustable neck sleeve in these hybrids as well, so you can dial that loft in a little bit more, a little bit that lie angle as well. So if you're certain shot shape you're trying to maybe aim to create or trying to reduce as maybe as a bad shot, you've got some help through that neck sleeve, the OptiFit sleeve that Callaway have. Just slightly up that left hand side on that one. And it's all about ease of use with the hybrid, isn't it? You know, sometimes, as I say, you know, we've got options of those utility irons, but I think the hybrid for most club golfers are generally going to be a little bit of a better option in terms of forgiveness, maybe in terms of ease of flight and everything like that, that you're sort of looking for, especially from those different lies that we get faced with out on the golf course. Oh, that's beautiful. It's a beautiful ball flight there, beautiful sound to it. I'm loving the look of that, and I think that's inspiring me to hit this better. I know it sounds daft. As I say, that's why I always feel looks is really important, and some excellent numbers. You can see those 4 shots I've hit there. You can see the front to back dispersion, so consistent. So I'm just going to hit one more, and then I'll move into the X version, which is a slightly larger head, but it still looks incredibly good. Oh yeah. Really enjoyed hitting that, that's good. Okay, so jumping into the Paradym X. So this is replacing the Rogue ST Max OS, so the bigger headed thing, which was a big chunky looking thing. So the X is obviously a little bit of a bigger profile of head size down in that playing position. And you can see that, just a little bit more of a rounded back. This is, for me, is getting a little bit more like the fairway wood shape. So if you're a big fan of fairway woods, maybe not so much the high woods, this might just fit your eye a little bit better. But, and there is a big but here, it still sits beautifully square, and it's a really nice shape again. So the differences between these two hybrids is just the X is just a slightly longer front to back. Again, it doesn't go into this big high toe, it doesn't sit closed, offset, anything like that. So for me, this is, again, it's a great looking club, even in that sort of bigger profile head. So this might be aimed at more that mid to high handicap golfer. Now we have got that adjustability in that opti-neck sleeve there. So if you do want a bit more of a draw bias building in it, and this is semi-draw bias is what Callaway is saying, but if you want more draw bias in there, you could put it in the D setting, the draw, which makes it a little bit more upright to try and reduce maybe that right miss that you have. So you've got options to help you there as well. So this is exactly the same loft, 18 degrees. Okay, just peeling a touch. I get a good strike, great sound, very similar sound there, which is good. I like that sound. Just a bit more up that left fractionally there for me, little bit longer. Right, that's good. Test a little bit of that technology, a little bit of that cup face, which is introduced in both of these hybrids. Yeah, that wasn't bad. That wasn't the greatest of strikes. That was a bit of a toey strike there, but that's done extremely well. And that's the thing that Callaway is saying with the X. It's a little bit more forgiving out of the two options. Obviously, a slightly bigger head. It's a better shot, or a better strike, should I say. Maybe a hair low in the face if we're going to get very picky. It's worked a tiny bit more left-hand side. So technology really in this head is exactly the same as what we're seeing in the other one. We've got this wave sole, which we're seeing both. Again, we've seen this in the fairway wood, so increased turf interaction there. So very subtle changes, to be honest, between these two. A little bit more draw bias is what Callaway is saying. A little bit of a bigger footprint down by that golf ball, probably just a bit more confident inspiring, a little bit more forgiveness. That's a low heely one again. I'm not hitting this as good as that first one, to be honest. Just probably it's more me than anything, of course, but just moving that strike, that one does drop off quite a bit. So that's me throwing this strike around this club face. It's better. Just looks to be a slightly higher ball flight with that. If anything, obviously my strike will outweigh that a little bit more, but that was a really nice ball flight on that last one there. Okay, I'm just switching back into that first, the original Paradym here, because I really did enjoy that. Now I've just hit that. I didn't hit that X quite as good there, but let's see if this one comes back again. Maybe a little bit of the influence of that. Look. Oh yeah, yeah. Straight back in with that. That's absolute crushed. That's such a good ball flight. Ball speed's jumped really good. Straight back into that sort of mix. So I think clearly for me, just that little bit of that influence of the look there just inspires me to maybe make a better swing. Who knows? I feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more comfortable. The swing can flow a little bit more, sync up a little bit better. But I think that is a really good option. I think both clubs are good, to be honest. It's just finding one that suits you as an individual, doesn't it? Big thumbs up to Callaway there. Huge change in the Paradym, in that hybrid. Post comments down below. Let me know your thoughts as always. Appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully catch up with you all very soon.